Hey, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for clicking on the video. I'm out here in traffic once again today doing some training stuff. I actually was doing a micro training with some behavioral health tech support staff this morning, and we'll be talking about accountability. And it was really exciting for me to hear their responses to my question of, what does accountability mean to you? You know, one of the responses was integrity, was being a man of my word. One of them was holding myself to a higher personal standard. And one of the things that I was working with them on is the personal value that comes when we take responsibility for our own actions. I practice a principle called extreme ownership. And as a leader, as a trainer, as a teacher, I am responsible for the end result. It may not be my responsibility to do the actual work, but I am responsible that it gets done correctly, effectively, and efficiently. And if that's not being done, the buck stops here. So if you're in a leadership position, I want you to think about that. You know, what are you doing to make sure that your team members are meeting the standards that you have set for them? Are you equipping them? Do they have the right tools? Are you empowering them to use those tools? Are you empowering them? Are you empowering them, allowing them creativity, allowing them to innovate, allowing them to do what they need to do in order to meet that standard? Are you engaging with them? Do you have a relationship with them? Do you know who they are? Do you know where their struggles are? Do you know where their strengths are? Do you know where their weaknesses are? Are you working with them to improve in those areas? You know, do you evaluate them? Are you evaluating them on a consistent and regular basis? Evaluation is a very, very valuable tool in leadership, because if they don't know they're not meeting the standard, how are they going to improve? You know, and that's part of accountability. As a leader, being accountable to my team it's invaluable. I have to be accountable to my team. It's not a one-way street. I can't expect them to be accountable to me and me not be accountable to them. I have to equip them. I have to give them the tools in order for them to take their job. You know, one of the greatest things that I've learned in this journey for me is that freedom comes from taking responsibility. You know, if I'm always blaming somebody else, if I'm always looking for an excuse or making for an excuse, I'm giving all the power to somebody else. You know, I have to take control of that situation. I have to assume the power. You know, as a leader, as a manager, as a supervisor, it's my responsibility. And when I assume that responsibility, I acquire a whole bunch of power. I'm not giving it to anybody else these days. And that's what I was teaching these individuals today, is that you have the ability to take personal responsibility, not only for your actions, but for your coworkers as well. And working with these people who do a lot of face-to-face interaction with people that are getting treatment for substance use disorders, and some of their responsibilities and their roles is holding them accountable to the program requirements. Making sure that their areas are kept clean and tidy. You know, making sure they're at the van on time, making sure they're going to group, making sure they're taking care of themselves. You know, these are some of the things that they have to do, and most times or not, these people really don't want to do this stuff. So it's their responsibility to teach them how to do something different. And how do we teach somebody how to do something different? Through role modeling and demonstrating. And once again, I tell you, it was really exciting to see how these people were grasping this concept of personal responsibility and accountability. You know, it was awesome to see that, especially from people that, you know, are fairly new to the industry, you know, within their first 4 or 5 years, or within their first 1 to 5 years. You know, it was very exciting for me to see them really grasp this concept, you know. So once again, let me talk about accountability, and what are you doing today to hold your team accountable, and what are you doing to be accountable to your team? Think about it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment on the video, share, let me know.